What's up, Team MBL? It's Music by Lucas.
And Lauren C. Ray. He's a producer, I'm the filmmaker. Let's get started. Okay, so today we wanted to make a big announcement because we've been hinting at it at social media and we've talking to the producers team members about it a little bit and everything, but we wanted to tell you guys here first because we are headed next week to Miami.
3 words: Spinnin' Hotel X Team MBL.
Let's get it poppin'. I'm in Miami trick.
So that is all we can tell you for now, guys, but stay tuned on our socials because starting next week, you're going to find out a lot more. And if you're on the producers team, get ready on Discord because we're going to be talking to you soon about how you can participate.
Yeah, and you guys do not forget, today, at the same time as this video dropped, also our vlog dropped. So you need to head over to my channel, Lauren C. Ray, and watch that.
Because we actually talk about on the vlog how we kind of got involved.
Yeah, you guys will see all the preparations that it took to get to Spinnin' Hotel, which... very crucial, you might see Lucas possibly getting a manicure. I don't know. Maybe you should head over there and find out. Alright, today's video is going to be aspiring producers versus top producers. And the reason why we're comparing the two is so that you guys can stop acting more like aspiring producers and act and do things like top producers. So we're gonna just talk about the comparison between the two and how you can be more like the top producers and then become a top producer. Okay?
Aspiring producers, they freak out over every little detail. They're perfectionists. They don't want people to hear their tracks until they're absolutely perfect, until a lot of times they don't release anything. Whereas top producers, they road test stuff and they get a lot of feedback often, and it's why they can be so successful.
You don't want to get stuck because you're just so worried about every little thing. You've really got to you figure out a way to just kind of put yourself out there in a way, because if you know that it's not the greatest track after you put yourself out there, great, you can trash it, you can move on to something else. But if you just focus on the same track or the same thing over and over again and you're just frustrated because it's not absolutely flawlessly perfect, you might be wasting your time. So it's actually better, I think, to act more like a top producer in this case, because putting yourself out there, you might just figure it out rather than just in your head all the time about it and get stuck.
And every single producer we talked to on the Teamwork Tour all said the same thing, that their first tracks that they put out were trash or they weren't good. So I can tell you, guaranteed, no matter who is your biggest idol, their first tracks were not very good. So do not worry about your first tracks, because years from now, you're gonna say the same thing and you're gonna have epic tracks.
Some people have said that they're afraid to put their music out there or to get feedback because they're afraid it's gonna be copied or someone's gonna steal the idea, but I don't know, how hard is it?
Well, the key thing is that if you're that good at making these tracks, you're gonna make them over and over, and you don't have to worry if someone steals one particular track. It's bound to happen. It's happened to me. The key is that it's not your last idea. It's not the last good track you're gonna come up with. If you're a musician, you keep coming up with tracks.
It's no, I had that one track, that one perfect track, and that's what stole. That's it. I can't be a producer. I can't be a DJ now.
You made a track. You didn't invent the iPhone. You have to remember that. So you can't be so scared to put it out there.
Well, honestly, it's probably a good indication that you're doing a good job if someone wants to steal your track. That's kind of good feedback in a weird, twisted way. Because you're wow, it was good enough to be stolen.
Yeah.
That's a good sign. Aspiring producers have FOMO, fear of missing out, and top producers don't.
For example, Don Diablo, he said that he, 2 years ago, told everyone, friends and family, that he was going after his dream 100%. He was only gonna sleep 4 hours a night. He wasn't gonna be there for birthday parties. He wasn't gonna be there for, going out with his friends and hanging out, and that he was just gonna give everything he had to the music, and that 2 years later, he was going to create his first album. Well, guess what? It's been 2 years, and he did it, but way bigger than he ever thought he could have before. So that's what I'm saying, is that the top producers like that achieve such big goals, they don't have the fear of missing out on going out to the movies.
If you are still younger or you're in school and you have a goal set, I want to release this track this day, or I want to do this many hours of music this day, always make sure you succeed in your goal.
Right.
And if you do, or if you're within your goal, then you can do activities. We're not saying to just blow everybody off, don't go to your prom, don't go to your high school dances, don't do all that stuff, or however it is in different countries, but not to just not do anything because I'm going to be a famous producer one day and I just don't have time for any of this. No, what we're saying is do not give up on your goals. If you set a goal, do not give up on that because you have a school dance or something. You need to prioritize and get it done, but don't just not do anything, if that makes any sense. I don't want you guys to be anxious all the time, oh gosh, well, they said, I shouldn't do anything because I should just be making music. No, just set a goal and make sure you accomplish that goal. That's what I would
And also
say.
when you do accomplish that goal and you accomplish the big ones, you should reward yourself. You should take a second,
Definitely.
some time to appreciate what you did, all your hard work.
The thing is, if you don't, like, even if it's the smallest, like, reward ever to yourself, or you feel like it's a goal that wasn't that big of a deal, if you guys don't stop and, like, think about that and, like, do one of these for yourself, you're never going to be satisfied. You're always going to think you're not doing enough.
Right.
And I mean, I definitely struggle with this because I'm just like, so what? I was just like, moving on. But you kind of have to like sit there for a second and be like, no, you know what? I didn't do that 2 days ago, but I did it today.
Treat yourself.
You know what I'm saying?
Aspiring producers spend pretty much all of their time in the studio, whereas the top producers understand that they still have an empire to build.
And what we're saying is both of them spend a lot of time making music, but they're not totally solely focused on making the most perfect track ever because yes, that's there. But so is so many other like chess plays in the game of becoming a big, you know,
the biggest
producer.
artists realize that the music is only part of it these days. And
Yes.
that's because of the fact that now you have in your hands the power to build your own empire.
Yeah.
Before you didn't, before the labels were the ones that were supposed to do it, or you needed to get a manager and a tour manager and this and that and this and that.
And if you still have that old school thinking of like, well, if I just get a manager, it'll be okay, everything will be taken care of. It's like, well, not really. And that's another video we can do later.
And
But
part of the reason for that is because the managers have changed now. Back then, they were expected to do that. Now they're not. Now they won't
Yeah.
even really want to manage someone that doesn't know how to manage themselves.
yeah, that's, like I said, video for
Another
sure.
video.
But like we said in the last video, if you guys watched our last video, you kind of have to do things yourself and be yourself and create this like following around that in order to be able to showcase your good music. Like that's
Right.
awesome if you're sitting on some great music, but who's going to listen?
Right, and you
That's
do
the question.
not want to be at the mercy of other people. You're powerless in that way. If you have to if your only option is to send tracks to labels and cross your fingers,
And wait around for
Not a
the
good
next
option.
big. And
Right.
it's not even that it's not a good option, which it's not, but also it's super frustrating for you, and it
Right.
honestly causes a lot of people to give up.
people to give up and to quit when they shouldn't. I mean, they're willing to give up on their passion or their dreams because they feel lost, they feel powerless,
Mm-hmm.
when if you really took the time to focus on building your little mini empire,
Mm-hmm.
you're gonna feel like you have a plan. And for an artist, when you're lost, it makes you feel confused and it makes you want to quit. When you have a plan, even just like a weekly little thing,
Yeah.
it can really help set you on track and help you stay focused and positive.
And make you feel like you're doing something, a little something every day towards your career. So, you know, those couple different things that we mentioned that top producers do, try to instill into your life, you know. If you can't do all at once, that's fine. But, like, try one of these that, like, really struck home with you. And just move forward and try to act more like a top producer because one day you will be.
And these are the things that we work on the producers team every single week.
Oh, that's true.
Everyone
Yeah.
actually reviews each other's stuff every week and says, you know, how are you doing this week on this? Everyone like works with each other.
Or
I think
Lucas
that's
will
the
tell
best
you
part.
specifically, like, maybe, okay, well, you've
Right.
got all those things that you're taking care of, but maybe, you know, this one thing you could just focus a little bit more on.
Especially on the Skypes, because then I can really
yeah,
work
that's true.
one-on-one with you
Yeah.
and talk to you specifically about your socials, look at them, and we can build a plan just for you.
Yeah, so if you're interested in that, as always, you guys, we keep information below, right there. And I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you learned a little something from us. And
We're going to see you guys in Miami, so get ready next week.
Woo!
I cannot wait. It's going to be awesome. So many more details to come.
you guys do not want to miss Lucas's bikini pics.
And you guys know it's all about teamwork. We got new videos every Wednesday and Friday. So if you're not a member of the team yet, hit that subscribe button. All right, guys, I'm Music by Lucas,
Lauren Z. Ray and Kingsley here.
and we will see you in Miami.
Let's get it poppin'. I'm in Miami.